and welcome back to another video. This one is recorded over a few months, so this clip I think is from February, where we started to get the manure from our neighbors' horses and cows. So we just bring our car down there with a trailer and then we load it up. And it's not that far, but when we are getting this much, it's easier that way. And this is all of the manure that we can just go down and get. But now I'm just walking back up to our house, so I will walk on this little road here and around the barn where there are some cows and some pigs inside, and that is our house up there, so it's not very far. And these are Wagyu cows, and they're really cute. And then down here in the side there are just a few Mangalitsa pigs. They're just sleeping right now. And now back in the garden, the ducks really like the manure because there's a lot of worms in it. So they jump up into a raised bed and eat all of the worms. So we're just putting a really nice layer of manure on top of the beds, and we're letting it sit there for a few weeks, and it will sink down a little because it's really airy and there's also some straw in it. And then we'll get some compost and put that on top afterwards. And you can see this bed, how much it has sunken down since last year. So that's why we can put on a good layer of manure. And now I'm going to start a lot of the seeds. These are all my pepper seeds and chilies. They will have to grow for a long time to produce well. So that's why I'm starting them here in the beginning of February. And these are some of the seeds that I saved from last year. So I start with writing all of the names down on these little notes, so that I know what everything is, else I will forget really fast because I have so many seeds that I'm planting. I also have this little book that I'm trying to use to keep track of everything that I'm doing in the garden, and I'm writing down which date I'm sowing the different things and so on. And with both my peppers, chilies and tomatoes, I am putting the seeds into a little cup and putting some water in it, and then I'll put it in a hot space so that they can germinate there. And I have found that that's the easiest way to do it, so you don't plant a lot of seeds that won't germinate. So this way I can just plant them every time that some of them are germinated. So these are all of my seeds, and I have them in these little trays so it's easier to move around. And this is just how it looks, so I just have to keep an eye on them so that they won't run out of water, because a lot of it will evaporate out there in the warm space. And this is maybe a week later, and you can see some of them are really sprouted a lot already, so I'm going to plant them now. And I made this tray ready, so I can just take all of the seeds that have sprouted and put them into the dirt, and then remember to put my little signs on there as well so that I know which is which. And now I'm planting some other seeds. These are some Chinese cabbage and some fennel, aubergine and celeriac root. I'm also planting all of my onions and leeks because they also have to germinate and grow for quite some time before I can plant them out, so I'll always start them very early. And I have a lot of different kind of onion seeds. I think it's funny to try different things and then figure out which I like the most. I think some bugs had eaten most of the carrot seeds, so I had to sow it again. And this is how it looks. I just did half of the bed, and these are the 2 other beds, and we haven't put compost out on them yet. And now I'm going to plant all of my brassicas and some flowers. And this time I'm trying something new. Instead of just putting 1 or 2 seeds in each hole, I will try to use some bigger pots and then maybe put 10 or 20 seeds in each. And once again, I'm marking all of what I'm doing so that I can find out which has sprouted and so on. And I have a lot of different cabbages because we like it a lot. And it's going really well with all of the peppers and the tomatoes. They have sprouted and they're growing along under these grow lights. And it doesn't take a long time for the tomatoes to be too big for those small pots, so I'm going to pot them up into some bigger ones. And as you can see, they really need it. They are a bit long now and falling over, so I'm trying to put them as far down into the new pots as I can, so that they can get some roots on the stem as well. And it was a really windy day, so I was happy to be inside of my greenhouse and not outside in the garden. And I'm also transplanting my celeriac root. I put them into these trays a few weeks ago, as I showed before, and it doesn't work out that well. Next time I will do them the same way as I did all of the brassicas. And This is how it looks when most of them are potted up, all of the tomatoes and some of the peppers and eggplant. And this time of year I just have plants all over the place. I have 2 tables and the window ceilings and so on. Now I'm in the greenhouse again. I'm trying to plant some more of the leeks and some salad and some more flowers and asparagus. That's these small seeds here. And these are all of my little brassica sprouts, so they also soon will have to get potted up. And now I'm in the garden again, a little better weather, so I'm going to set a lot of my onion bulbs, these little sets, and I'm also putting a hose on top of the dirt before so I can water them when it gets really hot in the summer. In the first few weeks, until they have some nicer roots, I will water them this way or with a hose, because not all of them are quite close, not enough to this line. So I will make sure that they can get a lot of nice roots before. And I'm also putting this bird net on top of the onions so that the birds won't dig them up, because they really like to do that. And now on to the brassicas. I have already put dirt into all of these trays, so I'm going to put one plant into each hole, and I already started over here. So it's really easy, because even though they are a little bigger now, they don't have that much root, so I can easily pull them apart without injuring the seeds or the roots. So I'm just taking one at a time and pushing it into the dirt, and then watering them well afterwards so that they can get some more roots. And while I'm at it, I'm also planting some herbs. So there's just 4 different kinds here. And this is a few weeks later in the bed where I sowed all of the carrots and the beets. And the beets are just starting to sprout now. But as I said before, most of the carrot seeds were eaten or just didn't sprout it. So I'm trying to put some potting soil on top and then sow in this instead and see if that's better. And I'm also going to plant all of these seeds in the rest of the bed. So I have a lot of different kinds of carrots, and I really like it when it's all of these different colors. So I'm putting some more potting soil on top of the bed down there, and then just sowing all of the seeds. And I put the agrobun on top as well, so that the birds can't get in there and so that it's a little moist. And this is a few weeks later again, and most of the beet seeds has germinated, so I won't have the agrobun on top now. I'm putting a bird netting on top of these boughs now. And while I'm doing the garden work, Preben is cutting the firewood. And he's trying to hide his beard down here, but I found it. And now we are cutting some cardboard to put under this manure and the compost, and we're going to put our potatoes in this row. So this is with the compost on top, so they will have a lot of nutrients in this little bed. And this is all for this time. Thank you for watching the video, and please like and subscribe, and you can always go and follow us on Instagram. Bye bye.